Welcome back to Dimebag Darren World Headquarters here in the corner of my living room. And this is a weirdie because what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you in on the inside joke. Now, as you know, I'm reading my way through my favorite book, Isaac Asimov's Foundation. And what that means is that hopefully you'll enjoy it and I'm having some fun. But what I want you to know is that when you become a fan of Asimov, and you read this story, there is an inside joke that begins right at the very beginning of the book. And there are a couple of things to know that knowing might help you understand, I guess, maybe, possibly a little bit, maybe not. I'm not sure. But I'm going to share a couple of background pieces of information here with you now regarding our story. Now, as you can see, Asimov, we've got a number of different stories here. We're working our way through the Foundation trilogy, and we are on Foundation. Okay. And so here we are, Foundation. We'll be working our way through the rest of those, but just one at a time. Okay. Now, actually, just to go back to here, I want you to notice that this was published in 1951. So this is work of future fiction that was written a very long time ago. Okay. The other thing I want you to know is that Trantor, the planet that we start on, is in a place and a time that is so far into the future from right now that the people have lost track of where humanity actually got its start. No one actually knows the name Earth anymore. No one is familiar with the planet of man's origin at all. So for all that they have and all that they know and all the planets that they talk about, the initial planet of man's initial beginnings is still Earth in all of these stories, except it was an incredibly long time ago, to the point where it's absolutely lost. And when different things that are constants, like for example, like physical constants for physical sciences, they will mention that they are things that are known since the iniquities of man, since the dawn of time, like the the laws of thermodynamics and things like that. So it is interesting that they know that there are some things that are so old that they're basically, again, their initial, where they came from is lost to the dawn of time, and in fact, the fact of where humans came from. But you've learned by enjoying the first little bit of our book that Harry Seldon was a mathematician who came up with a science called psychohistory based on mathematics that allowed for the prediction of masses of humans, not an individual human, but more accurately, masses of humans. And more accurately, the bigger the mass, the better, the more accuracy would be involved. So by using the accuracy of the masses of the universe, and its many quintillion, quadrillion, quinbillion, however number, and using the mathematical theorems of psychohistory, he could see no way for the current system to sustain itself, and that it would for sure fall into ruin. And he's let the leaders of the day know, but that ruin is no time in the upcoming near future that any one of them should concern themselves. But Harry is concerned with humanity, not just humans. So it becomes his plan to save the knowledge of man in a way separated from the upheaval that would be coming up, and set up the encyclopedia group. And they leave the planet. They are exiled to another planet far on the edge of the galaxy where hopefully they won't be bothered, in order to work on their encyclopedia, which would be the sum knowledge of all mankind. And not only would it be there, but it would be distributed so that no cataclysm would wipe out the sum of learning up to that point, and man could begin again and rebuild in a much shorter time span than we would otherwise. So this is the setting up of the Encyclopedia Galactica. The funny thing, though, and here's the inside joke, each chapter begins with a synopsis of the situation from the Encyclopedia Galactica. And here on the bottom of the very first page, and very well may be the only time it comes up, I read for you one more time. All quotations from the Encyclopedia Galactica here reproduced are taken from the 116th edition, published in 1020 FE by the Encyclopedia Galactica Publishing Company, Terminus, with permission of its publishers. And that means no matter what, however the story goes, the encyclopedia is published. There have been 116 editions of it. And 1020 FE, that's Federation time. Or, that's Federation. You know what I mean? Like, that is the time after the setup of the foundational era, pardon me. So, that tells you that by foundational era. So, that tells you that by 1020 FE, that's 1,020 years into the future, that this quote came out of the published works. So there's your inside joke. No matter what you're reading through here, you're able to see it because this is 1,020 years even in the future from this. But it's a great story. And so we will be going on to Book 2, The Encyclopedists, right away. And once again, it begins with an opening quote from Encyclopedia Galactica. Keep that in mind. And you might find it a little bit different to listen to, but even when you think you know what's going on, you don't. That's all I'll say. That being said, from Dimebag Darren World Headquarters here in the corner of my living room, there's the inside scoop on what we're doing. Hope it brings more enjoyment to you. It is once again my favorite book, and I hope it becomes one of yours. For now, bye-bye.